All right, so we're back on Fox again for another game, and I have recorded a few, but none of them have been really that good. So now I'm on my last game at 8Q here. If I win this one, I will be double ranking up to 6Q, and then maybe I don't want to use this account for this particular purpose anymore. We'll see how I decide to feel after that. Now, what we've been focusing on here is trying to be a little bit more aggressive. We've already put a lot of effort into being very defensive, defending even when we didn't necessarily have to. Our goal was never to win games, but to really understand how strong or weak groups really are. And so now we want to move in the other direction and try to figure out more along the line of the weak groups or the weak shapes. Our overall plan is when we see an opportunity, we have to wait for it. We have to still defend and properly play until we find it. But when we see that opportunity, we will try to seize it and take advantage of the position to get a little bit of a bit of profit from the position. And the one thing I'm going to repeat until I've gotten tired of saying it myself is the idea of having some sort of plan for every aggressive move we play. If you have no plan for your aggressive move, then it's not going to be a good move, regardless if it works or not. I think I said it last time as well. A bad plan, better than no plan, that sort of idea.
Start.
All right, I got a game here, and I'm white. Let's see if they want to play. All right, seems like they're going to do it. We're going to do some 3-4s here. Still the same as we have been doing. And we're going to do a cross game. Okay. Just going to do another 3-4. I like to just keep it so that we're still facing our opponent in some way. I don't know why. I just sort of like this. They're approaching high, so we're going to keep it basic here with the attach underneath Joseki. They should Hane. We'll find out. They should Hane. We'll pull back. Then they will connect. Oh, ideally. Yep. Then we just jump here. Nothing too special. This is where you could decide to approach them first instead of enclosing your own corner. I think we might as well do that. We'll approach low and see how they want to play. They are going to pincer right away. And am I okay with doing something more aggressive here? This one, I don't necessarily want to be too aggressive with these types of Joseki, but I think I'm okay with honestly just enclosing my own corner. But I'm going to jump because this is something that keeps it a little bit more simple. And we're just going to be pushing here to get some extra strength for our stones. And we could pincer if we would like to, but I still want to keep that idea of being strong. I prefer to sort of play from the center in some way. Pincer might be the more appropriate move, honestly. We're just going to stay strong and play from the center here. So I'm going to do a 1-point jump. This is moving us out towards the center where we can potentially make some eye shape here. This is when we can start to apply a little bit of pressure because a 2-space base is not alive. So I'm going to prevent it from expanding more by stopping it from making a larger base. Jumping up there is a little bit unusual because we do have that opportunity to come in here at the elephant's eye to try to get something. So we just have to read it out as best we can. If we play at the elephant's eye and they push us down, we're cutting off a stone and we feel really good. If they push us the other direction, they block and then we cut, this is going to be a bit of a fight. Do we want to start that fight now? And what is our plan, right? If we get to cut off this middle stone, maybe we can capture it. And if we capture it, our outside group is very strong. If they try to save the outside stone, they're getting into trouble on the bottom side. So, all right, let's do that. We're going to poke at the eye shape, or the elephant's eye, not really the eye shape in this case. We're going to ask them what they want. We're going to push up, so we want to push to keep them separated. Still going to extend here, probably, to make sure we are not going to get surrounded in any way. So let's just extend, keep it very simple. Something that's really important for these sort of aggressive games is also trying to be very flexible. If we have to give something up, we will give something up. In this case, we're happy to extend down again. We're basically capturing these 2 stones and making black very, very weak here. This is actually a very common not mistake, but a very common weakness in positions. So as long as we just keep going here, keep extending out, I think we can extend out one more time. I think technically we also have the Hane, so I'm going to extend one more time, prevent any sort of attack on my stones that don't have that many liberties. Oh, now they're going to be peeping at us. They're going to try to really severely attack our group. This is where we have a pretty cool move, I guess. We could bump here, which is threatening to Hane underneath, which would be pretty cool. Just connecting doesn't really help us in any way. And when you're trying to defend your group, even if you're losing some profit, you want to try to do it in as strong a way as possible. Just block. There's no cutting point right now. You can peep at it all he wants. We're protecting our cutting point. We still can connect underneath now. Okay, so we could try to move from the outside, right? Or we could just connect underneath. What did we want from this fight? We wanted to make our group strong by potentially capturing the outside stone. And if he did not let us do that, we were going to capture these other two stones. So we ended up capturing those other two stones. And so now we just need that second idea of becoming strong. So we can probably just connect underneath because that makes our group as strong as possible. We don't need to keep worrying about the center necessarily. We fix our problem. That's what we learned sort of in the defensive section. And then we move on from there. This one feels a little bit questionable. I'm going to stick to some basic Joseki anyway, but this is a time where we could probably pincer or be very aggressive, but I'm not moving on to complicated Joseki yet. So let's just attach underneath, get this territory, and then we'll be moving out towards the center because we're already strong here and they have a group that's not alive. So let's see if they just connect. Okay, they just connected. We don't need another move here. We're very much connected and strong, so we can actually just move out towards the center, threatening to surround their group. This is the important thing on the board, so we want to keep focus on that important thing. They're jumping a little bit far. Yeah, a little bit far, but it's not too big of a deal. They did defend their group. I think it's probably safe enough, so we don't need to worry about it. And now, just like I said before, we didn't need to defend. This is the part that we can sort of omit right now. And maybe we can actually go back and attack them, sort of take away the extension they could have played and see what we can get out of this. All right, they're playing this attachment here. We can just Hane underneath because we have backup stones. Just push and now we're all connected. Yeah, just connect. Make sure they can't take advantage of anything in our area. They're attaching, but we can just make sure that nothing is captured here by blocking. We don't have to read more than that necessarily. Their group is surrounded. They're the ones who are going to be struggling to live. So we just have to follow along with what they're doing. And then we'll look for that opportunity to take advantage of their shape if they play incorrectly. Right now, they should probably just run away. Let's see if they do that. Good, good, good. They realize that they don't really have anywhere to go, so they just need to run. And this is where we need to now, again, decide what we want to do. If we push them here, we're not surrounding them, but we are making a little bit of influence to approach the upper right corner. So push here to approach there feels normal. And we'll let the Biomi go. It's okay. The other idea would be to jump here. If we jump towards the center, they will have to push us from behind, and maybe we still take the points here on the right side. And we preserve the weakness of this group. So which plan do we like more? Do we want to just push them here, maybe let them try to connect a little bit, and we get to approach, or do we want to separate first? I think I'll go with separate. I like that idea overall. So we'll just jump here, because we want them to push from behind. Pushing from behind is almost always a bad thing. So we're going to peep. All right, we'll just stay strong. We don't want to do anything fancy. And yet, they're going to push from behind. A nice move you can play in this sort of situation is actually to jump, because we can move even faster than normal, but even just extend is usually fine. I'm going to jump just to show you, because the point here is not that we're trying to kill the group anymore. It's that we're trying to approach the upper right corner. We can block here. Why not? The idea is that if they do cut in some way, we're going to try to use the liberties on that to get something. We'll extend up here. They're kicking. Whenever they kick, you always want to extend. They're playing back here now to threaten to cut through my shape. This is where we can be a little bit more aggressive, because if they push and cut, if I already have a move here at J12, it no longer works. So I'm going to play this peeping move here, which is threatening to push through their area and cut them at the same time. Now they do have the other cut. If they push the other direction and cut, they do have that one. So now I'm just going to Atari this stone. And now we've tried to defend in the most efficient way we could. Okay, they decided to go back and defend the corner, which was probably a good idea. I have a lot of cutting points, so I'm also going to go and defend my cutting points here. A couple moves work. I'm just going to connect solidly here. This is also where some of their eye shape is. So now both of our groups should be more or less pretty solid. Again, we always want to go back and fix any problems that we have. Even if we could have used the cutting points to try to get some strength, this also gets us strength. So we're just going to extend here. No Ataris, no anything to give to them. And they're just going back and taking more territory, which is kind of interesting. I think I like this idea of jumping out one more time and seeing what they play. So if we jump out here, we're still threatening to sort of surround this group, and we're going to see if he just goes back and lives now. This turn in the center doesn't really make too much sense because their group does need to live. So now I'm going to officially surround the group. I like this diagonal move here. We're connecting and their group is 100% surrounded now. We'll just connect. Again, we're not trying to kill. We're just surrounding them and letting them decide how to live. This is where we can actually find some pretty cool shape moves. Like there's this peep here, which is actually pretty nice that I like. If we peep, they connect, we can connect. So that's no good for them. So if they block, then we can capture the stone. And they can't play this move because it's an Atari.
9, 8.
So let's jump in here and see what it looks like. This is a very common shape move. The middle of 3 stones is almost always a way to take advantage of that shape, especially when you have a Hani on both ends. Okay, so letting us just capture. We actually don't even need to respond right now. I don't really think we can kill them, but I think the best chance we have would be potentially to push in and sort of reduce their eye space a little bit. So let's see what they play here. Yep, well, Atari. We don't want them to capture this stone. Oh, cool, cool. They decided just to live. Surprisingly, this is not completely alive because we could take away the eye here. And I think that it does just work, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're not going to kill our opponent,
8,
but we do want to make their group a little bit weak in the center again. So I'm just going to jump towards the center because they have one more group that's not alive. We want to keep threatening to surround them in some way. So one more jump would be another way to threaten to surround. And we're not looking to be too aggressive, right? Like trying to attach and gain a lot of strength and then try to like cap them or something. We're not looking for something like that. We're just trying to separate them and see maybe if we can invade the left side. So I guess this is the time where we'd want to see what particular thing we can do now that there is a weakness for sure. Because if they had just connected, there was not too much we could do. So now looks like we could just continue to jump here.
8, 7, 6,
And they'd probably
5,
need to respond again.
4, 3.
And the idea is that they're going to connect to the top
1.
side and we're going to invade the left side.
Last yo-yo.
And then we could also separate them from the top side in some way. And then they get to connect to the left side. And maybe we still can invade that way, but it's harder to say for sure. So I want to do the thing that's more clear to me. I like just jumping one more time and then we'll try to invade this left side. I think they are trying to connect really nicely. One of the problems that they have right now is I have this peep and then I can actually push and cut them here. I don't think I'll push and cut them right away, but I wanted to sort of highlight it. So now we're just going to go into the left side here. Depending on how they play, maybe we'll get a different sort of thing going on. But for now, this I think is one of the easier invasions to do, is this second line one. So we'll try this one. The idea is that we're threatening to connect underneath or we're threatening to jump out. Okay, they're going to let us connect so we can Hane here. This is a Joseki. As they block, then we Atari, and we connect under. Yep. So Atari. And connect. They can Atari us, and we will connect as well. But we've done a good job of taking away the territory on the left side. We do have some weakness here in the center, but I think it was worth the trade-off. Getting some Fox coins. Okay. They decided to basically go back and fix one of their issues that they had on top here. I think we can probably
8,
continue to take away some of the points on the left side now. It's like this push is threatening a Hane here to try to cut him off. So again here. But he decided to double Hane. This is a really great opportunity to take advantage of our opponent's shape. Because we can Atari on the outside here and actually cut off this middle group. Because these 2 stones cannot be captured. When we extend here, they can capture 1 stone, but not 2. And the cutting stones are the important stones here. It's okay if they're able to survive with the other stones. We can just connect here. We don't want them to push through and capture anything. Now they're going to peep again. Probably just connect again, honestly. It's not too big of a deal. They can potentially try to capture the 2 original stones here. So we might even be able to turn, honestly. That's kind of an interesting move. But I'm just going to connect. Keep it simple. Ah, interesting. I think there's actually a pretty obvious weakness here. We can just push through and they are losing something. But we can also attach here to try to cut them off in some way. I'm going to do it the more obvious weakness here, where we're still going after this middle group, right? It's still not connected anywhere. And we can start to see how their shape is likely going to fall apart a little bit here right now. Because we actually don't care too much about if they capture these stones anymore, because maybe we're going to be doing something else instead. So I'm just going to push here, because we're going to threaten their middle group again. And again, they do have a cutting point. But if we cut right away, maybe they just give up 1 stone. So we have to make it hard for them to give up a stone. So we're going to go back here and threaten to rescue our 2 stones, fix our weakness before we go back and try to be too aggressive. Yep, there we go. They did capture this, so that's good. Our weakness is now fixed. They had a wedge here of some sort. And so now I'm interested in like jumping here or doing this diagonal. And the idea is that if we can push through the top side, we're happy. If they block us from doing that, we're able to push and cut them. So we can just push here. And as I said, we're already happy because we got to take away the territory that they tried to make here. Yep, just connect. This is a bad exchange because it's helping me defend this cutting point, which is also threatening to push through my opponent's area. There's a possibility that something like this, where we wedge, just to show you sort of the shape problems they have. Maybe there's some sort of cutting point on one side or the other. They have to be a little bit careful in how they handle it. I think it's going to be fine for them, honestly. There's not really going to be a big deal. Just something for you to always be looking out for. Like your opponent might be able to get something out of these sort of situations
9,
anyway.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Just be careful
3,
how you
2, 1.
connect. I'm just going to connect solidly. It's going to be good enough. They should fix on the outside. They're fixing a little bit bad, but this means that we can poke at their shape. So this feels really good. Really nice. Really nice move here. We can even poke again since they decided to block that direction. If I can talk, my goodness. Now, technically, I think we can probably actually kill this other group if we really wanted to at this stage. I'm going to poke in here to sort of show that if they don't play here, they definitely don't have that eye. I'm going to connect. So they usually would want to connect here. Maybe I get to capture the stone in the future. And as I said, I think we can actually play this move. With this move, it actually turns this into a false eye. We've gotten really strong everywhere else, so we don't really have to worry too much about anything else going on. So we could decide to do it. I'm just not sure if I want to or not.
9,
But I think sort of
8,
for fun,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I do kind of want to.
1.
I'm going to push here first before I run out of time. Threaten to do something on the top side. See if they defend that or if they go back to the bottom right corner.
9.
Okay, they're going down now. I think I can technically cut everything off, but that's not really the goal. Let's play some moves before we sort of mess up too much here, because I am short on time. Something that's kind of interesting here is they don't really have that many liberties, and that's kind of interesting to me. But I'm not going to worry about that. I think we will go back and do this one. I just kind of want to know if it works. So let's do it. I think there's a possibility they can make another eye. So let's see if they make that eye. I'm thinking like they can Atari and maybe do a diagonal to try to make some sort of eye, or do diagonal here to try to Hane. Like there's a bunch of options. So let's see what happens. I'm kind of curious.
5.
You don't necessarily have to learn from this part. Just want to throw that out there. All right, they're going down. So let's extend down as well. Extend down one more time. We can now connect on either side. When we play this one, this is an Atari on the large group of stones here. They can't make an eye with this. It's just 3 in a row. You need about 4 in a row to make an eye. So we'll block like this. It should be okay. We want to prevent that 4 in a row. Yep, just connect. They're trying to do something here, but I don't think any of it works. So I think we can actually just keep our groups connected and prevent them from coming out. Just stay connected. We have so many eyes and all of our groups are very strong that we shouldn't have to worry about anything.
Upgrade
Okay,
successful.
you resigned.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, I leveled up. Yay. So there was something in this upper left I thought was kind of interesting as well. So let me get the game analysis board open and see if it works properly. All right, so something I was looking at, this is kind of not important, but I do want to point this out because I thought it was cool. I'm kind of curious if there's anything there. So one thing I was kind of looking at was if there was something in this upper left area, because there's this Atari and there's something over here, and you can kind of see that there's not that many liberties for black. They have to go back and capture, and then maybe we can connect. And because if they don't capture, they try to like push through or something and cut here, they just don't have enough liberties for anything. So actually, I think there was kind of a cool, sort of interesting idea over here. And I don't know the best way to do it, like this one first. The idea is if they push this way, maybe they can try to live with this one. They can just connect underneath, but then we get to capture again. So there's like a little bit of like Aji over there. That just looked really interesting to me. No idea if it worked perfectly or not. And it looks like something works there. That's kind of cool, honestly. That's why you saw me do this weird sort of turn in the center. That seems a little bit unusual. It's to get rid of all the liberties that my opponent had there. As I said, not important. I may even cut this part out, but it's just kind of a cool scenario here. Anyway, yeah, this left side, I think there's actually not many ways my opponent can actually live here. I was wondering if he could do something like this. This looks like it potentially just works. And then I think I can't kill him now. Right. So I think that's the best he can do. And then I get a little bit of in-game sort of stuff here. It's probably better, honestly, to play something else, but I was kind of curious if there was a way to live. I wasn't 100% certain. I figured it out as he was playing, but I wasn't 100% sure. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys are having a good day and have fun.